Hello and welcome to the show. Listen, we've got a great show planned for you. I tell you what, I'm excited today because I have a dear friend on. And yes, her name is Miss Annette D's Grevious. And so I just want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy because it's coming up next.
The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com.
Hello, everybody. It's Finkley of The Michael Finkley Show, and you're watching Gold right now. Why? You're watching The Tammy Show. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the show. Well, I told you we've got a great show planned for you. First, before I get started with introducing our guest, I just want to ask you to pray for those that were involved with Hurricane Idalia. I'll tell you what, I live in South Carolina and I'm a Charlestonian. And so, praying for those folks in Charleston as well as the folks in Florida. I mean, Hurricane Idalia did its thing. And I tell you what, we've got to keep them in prayer. And if you can help them in any way, help them. That's what I say, help you. And so anyway, without further ado, I have the pleasure of introducing a dear friend. Well, she's a devoted mother. Her daughter's Amari. She's a dedicated educator, an advocate who served the Orangeburg community for over 20 years. She's currently the professor of speech and drama at Claflin University. And yes, she's a member of the Orangeburg County Fine Arts Center. She holds a degree, Master's of Fine Arts in Theater Performance from the University of Louisville. And why she's on the show today is because she's running for city council in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Let me introduce you to none other than, oh yes, and I forgot to mention, she is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And without further ado, come on out, Miss Annette D's Grevious.
Oh, hello.
How are you, Annette?
I am well. Thank you so much for asking, Tammy, and thank you for having me on the show.
Well, listen, thank you for being on the show. I'm excited. Because, Annette, I've known you for a while and you are such a joy. Every time I see you, just light up the world, girl. That smile just lights it up. But, we're here to talk about a couple of things. But before we talk about you being a candidate for Orangeburg City Council, I want you to kind of tell us, who is Annette D's Grevious?
Well, you did such a lovely introduction. But yes, I am an educator, a mother. And yes, so I did my undergraduate studies at the Grinnell University, which is now known as the University of North Georgia. I got an associate's degree as well as a bachelor's degree in theater. I also did my master's degree at the University of Louisville in Louisville, Kentucky, also studying theater performance. I've been an educator at Claflin University for more than 20 plus years, coordinator of the theater program there, and a professor of theater and speech. And yes, I have been involved in the community. I have been a member and board member and board chair of the Orangeburg County Fine Arts Center. I've served our state theater organizations, been president of the South Carolina Speech and Theater Association, the South Carolina Theater Association, as well as the Southeastern Theater Conference, which I currently serve as vice president of finance. So that gives you some of my leadership experience, so to say.
Well, listen, Annette, that's a whole lot. But, one of the things that I love about you is that you are thespian and you've been acting for many, many years. People don't even know this, but you've been in some major productions. Yes. And I hear that I have heard, and I've seen you too. You are one of the best. You are one of the best. And so congratulations on that. But Annette, as we start talking about being in Orangeburg, Orangeburg is a unique city. And I want you to kind of tell us what influenced you to run for city council?
Well, I I've been in Orangeburg, as I said, for 20 plus years. And when I came to Claflin University in the city of Orangeburg, I said that I was only going to be here for 5 years. Fast forward 15 plus years later, I am still here. But I truly feel that God sent me to Orangeburg for a reason and a mission. And so I feel like there's still work for me to do. And I've seen change, growth in the city of Orangeburg, and there's been a lot of growth and change in the past few years. And I want to be a part of that change that is happening. I want to be instrumental in making that change happen and keep Orangeburg moving forward in a positive direction.
Right. And one of the things that I always think about is qualities. What qualities do you possess that make you a strong candidate for this position? Annette, I think she froze on us. Okay, we will ask Annette if you can hear us. Annette, you may need to come out and come back in. But as Annette was talking, Orangeburg is growing, and it's wonderful to be a part of something that's growing. I can say that because, as I tell people now, I am here in Orangeburg and talking with folks from Orangeburg, talking as we did a couple of weeks ago with the superintendent of the Orangeburg County Schools, who's not a native of Orangeburg, but everybody that comes here has seen the growth. And so it's important for us to really decide to be a part of something that's new, something that's special. And of course, Annette mentioned that I want to be a part of something new. I want to be a part of that growth as well. So, Annette, as we were talking, I was asking you the question about what qualities do you possess that make you a strong candidate for this position?
Well, as I stated earlier, I've had extensive leadership experience, and I certainly believe that a city council person has to have strong leadership skills. I currently serve the Southeastern Theater Conference as the vice president of finance. So I also know how to work a budget or work some numbers, if you will. I'm a little frugal, but I feel like if the dollars are going in a good place, then we're going to get them there. Um, so that I believe that strong leadership, good with numbers, and also a passion for whatever I put my mind to or devote my time and energy to. I'm going to be passionate about it. I'm honest, I'm trustworthy, and I feel like I can be a true representative of the voice and
Mhm.
interest, needs, concerns of the citizens of Orangeburg.
Right. And in your district. And at what sets you, as we're talking about that, the qualities, what sets you apart from the other candidates?
Well, I'm not from Orangeburg as the other two candidates are. So I believe that having that kind of outside perspective,
Mm.
having my mother was civil service, so we traveled around just like she was in the military. So I think having that diverse travel experience, living experience, living in other places. And yes, I have been in Orangeburg for 20 plus years, but I think having that outside perspective, but still having a hand on those citizens, those people who have lived, worked in Orangeburg for all of their lives, or even those that are transients, those that are coming in and going out of Orangeburg.
That's right. We just had a comment, and I want you all to show that comment again because it was very important. It says, vote for Annette D's Grevious. She's a fighter, an advocate, and much, much more. She's responsible, she's professional, personable, and works hard for the community. And I can attest to that because I've seen what you have done in the community. I've seen what you've done for the students at Claflin University and in the surrounding areas, because you take care of students. Thank you, Tiana and Willie. You take care of students, and you've always done that. You take care of people. I've seen you, I have personally seen you do that. Now, as we are talking about this, about being in city council, I just said while you had to go out, I said Orangeburg is a unique place, a very, very unique place. So, what would you say would be the first three steps you would take if you were elected?
Well, I'm someone who likes to approach anything that I do with observation. I want to learn what, you know, as citizens, we don't necessarily get an inside view of city council. We may attend meetings in person or virtually, but there's also that executive session that they sometimes go into. So I want to truly learn the inner workings of city council and make sure that I truly understand how they function before I put my hands on things, put my ideas forward. So I truly feel like the first few months will just be learning how city council truly works from an inside perspective. And then I want to try to push my ideas forward, which is goes to my platform and my slogan of keeping Orangeburg moving forward. So truly being a representative of the voices of the city of Orangeburg, especially those in District 4, fighting to empower our economy, strengthen that economy and the infrastructure in the city, and then also helping to keep our neighborhoods safe, making our neighborhoods safer.
Right, and that is the most important thing, keeping our neighborhoods safe. Annette, one of the things that I got a question from Dr. Walter Curry of Renaissance Publications LLC, and his question is: if you are elected, will you prioritize the arts in Orangeburg to spur economic growth and cultural activities for our citizens?
Well, I do think there is room for growth in of the arts in Orangeburg. Yes, I am a thespian. Yes, I am passionate about the arts, and I think that is something that could strengthen the economy and our visitors, our foot traffic in Orangeburg. Orangeburg is of course uniquely and I think positively positioned in the state in terms of being in between Charleston, which we may say is the arts mecca or one of the arts meccas of the state of South Carolina, and Columbia. But as people are traveling back and forth, Orangeburg should be a definite stop for anyone that's on I-26 or even I-95. And I think the arts is something that could be a tasty treat for people to say, yes, I want to make that stop in Orangeburg.
Yes, I told you I'd love to see us do some type of film or art festival here.
Yes,
A true art film festival. So hopefully that's something that can happen while you're in office, and of course with the renovation of the theater there, Stevenson Auditorium, correct?
yes,
Am I saying that
yes,
correct? Yeah,
yes, Steve
with the
Auditorium.
renovation, because I went in there, I would love to see more plays, more musical events, more arts events, things happening, and so hopefully that's going to happen in the near future. Let's talk about how you're going to approach controversial and complicated issues. What's going to be your approach?
Well, I think the first step, of course, is to listen. You have to listen to the voices of the people, whoever may be voicing those complicated or challenging issues, or even if it's something that city council members themselves are, struggling with. So I think the first thing is listen and then find a positive way to respond. Because more than likely, if it's a complicated issue, if it's a challenging issue, it's something that is of importance. And if anyone is voicing it, of course, it's important. So I think the first thing is to listen and then find a positive way to respond.
Annette, listen, we're going to take a break on that positive way to respond. You listen, we're going to take a break and we're going to be right back. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Annette.
Thank you.
The Orangeburg County Conference Center supports downtown Orangeburg and our surrounding communities. The 6,000 plus square foot space is ideal for groups of up to 400 people attending corporate meetings, conventions, workshops, and special events. Conference Center staff are inspired to ensure that everyone can enjoy the modern amenities. State-of-the-art ballroom that accommodates up to 400 guests banquet style and 430 guests theater style. A warming kitchen with hot boxes, ice machine, refrigerator, freezer, and counter space. A lobby that accommodates 150 guests with special events outdoors. The comfortable outdoor amphitheater has a video wall and seating. Adjacent to the amphitheater is 12,000 plus square feet of green space that extends events outside, plus complimentary on-site event parking and additional parking across the street. Your event can take place all in one spectacular location. We welcome your special event in Orangeburg.
My name is Randy Dantrell Heath, and you are watching The Tammy Show.
All right, welcome back to the show. And you saw that Orangeburg County Conference Center, Library and Conference Center. See, folks, that's what we're talking. That's what Annette's talking about.
Yes, yes. It makes me want to have an event there right now.
That's right. That's right. Listen, so let's get back to talking about you running for city council. Now, you're in District 4. Talk about issues that you have seen in District 4 and how you plan to deal with those issues once you become a member of city council.
Yes, so going back to my platform, I again want to be a voice of the citizens of Orangeburg. And I think city council should be driven, the issues that they address should definitely be driven by what is happening in the city of Orangeburg and what those constituents are voicing concerns, interests, and posing as their needs. Those things need to drive those issues that city council members are dealing with and matters at hand. That's first and foremost, because we are true representatives of the people that we serve. So I want to be a true representative of those constituents. As I said, also increasing the economy and infrastructure. Of course, downtown Orangeburg runs right through District 4. If you're coming in on 601 and coming right across those tracks, you are entering District 4. That should be something that is truly attractive and should pull people into that downtown area. And of course, as you come in on 601, you're passing 3 institutions of higher education. So the largest body of constituents in District 4 are those students at Claflin University, as well as a portion of South Carolina State, but I'm going to go ahead and say all of South Carolina State. So those students are truly, truly important. So they should have a thriving downtown area in which they can go shopping, have enjoyment, hang out with family, friends, what have you. And of course, not forgetting about those people who call Orangeburg home, for more than just 1 to 4 years while they're in school, but also having activities that can pull people in right downtown to our city, downtown area, of Orangeburg. And then also being sure that it is safe. It's safe for those students to go out. There are a lot of students that are walking from those two institutions, a lot of people who are walking just from their homes. So we want to be sure that they have a place where they can safely travel if they're out exercising, if they're out walking to downtown, to go shopping, or just out for enjoyment. We want to be sure that they have a safe space in which to do so.
Right. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and also just, improving the quality of life for everyone in the city.
How important. That's so important. Annette, as you were talking about students and the growth, my next question is about experiencing that growth and development because Orangeburg is growing. As you
Oh, yeah.
mentioned early on, Orangeburg is growing and there is a lot of growth happening and a lot of development that's happening and getting ready to happen. How are you going to assist in its continuation?
Well, I think we have to have a strong marketing strategy for the city of Orangeburg that is appealing to businesses, industries, and I want to make sure that people know about Orangeburg. Orangeburg has a rich history. There's a lot of opportunity in Orangeburg, and of course, that opportunity is increasing. So I think making sure that there's a well-developed marketing strategy to market the city of Orangeburg to businesses and industry to keep pulling them in.
Yeah, because Orangeburg should no longer be a best kept secret.
Okay.
And every chance I get, I'm telling people every chance I get, and just like having you on today, as well as the Orangeburg County Administrator and the Orangeburg County School District Superintendent, having folks like that on talking about Orangeburg and really, building up what's here in Orangeburg. Let's talk about your residents. How do you plan to involve the residents in decision-making process in Orangeburg?
Well, the residents need to know me. As a city council member, they need to know me. So that means going out door to door, if that's what it means, knocking on each door on a regular basis, making sure that their needs and interests are met. If it means setting up a link where they can voice their needs and concerns, setting up a social media platform in which they can go to voice those needs and concerns, but I need to hear from them. I cannot represent them if I don't hear from them. So they need to know me, I need to know them.
Wow, yeah, and that's important for people to know each other because now you get to share those ideas and they get to bounce off what it is that's happening that they're concerned about. And I think that's so important.
Yeah.
What are those ideas that you bring? Um, what are your ideas to bring more opportunities to Orangeburg? What do you have? You've already talked about the arts and what you see in that. What are some of those other ideas that you have?
Well, I think the downtown area specifically, we need more eating places, more than just a fast food restaurant, but a true dining place where we can go with our family, our friends, and have a true dining experience. Maybe even have some activity at that dining experience. So I think there's been talk about something like the Grand, with something that we see in Columbia coming to Orangeburg. So a place where we can eat, we can socialize, we can engage in activity at that place, and have multiple places like that, not just one, but multiple places like that where we have options. We have
Right.
options of places where we want to go and engage in activity as well. Bringing a bowling alley back to downtown Orangeburg. Yes, we talked about the arts. There is a theater, the community theater, the Bluebird Players are downtown. But what about a dinner theater downtown?
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so having shopping places downtown. Downtown should be a centralized area where we're pulling those people from outside places and they want to come and hang out in the city, in the downtown area of Orangeburg, which leads us right to the gardens. So before we even get to the gardens, we have places where we might want to stop along the way, having an outdoor festival downtown. So giving people options. When they come downtown, I have options in terms of where I want to stop.
That's right. Listen, I'm all for the options and all the things that you said. I can't wait. I cannot wait, and it's gonna happen. Tell people change comes about. It may seem like it's slow, but it is happening. Things are happening behind the scenes, and as you said, being on city council that we don't even know about yet, and that you will be privy to before we are.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, wow, wow. So Annette, if there's one thing or a couple of things that you want people to glean from this interview, what would that be?
I want them to know that I am passionate about being a citizen of Orangeburg and about being a representative of those who live in Orangeburg and or visit Orangeburg. And I want them to know that I have their best interest at heart. But in order to have their best interest at heart, I need to hear from them. I need to know what it is that they want pushed forward and what they truly want City Council to address. I want to know them and they need to know me. So that's first and foremost, being a true voice of the people. And then, as I said, strengthening the economy, improving the quality of life of our citizens in Orangeburg. So that means not only bringing those businesses and industry into Orangeburg, but also creating jobs and employment opportunities for our citizens of Orangeburg and making them competitive jobs, with competitive wages. So truly improving the quality of life for our citizens of Orangeburg and making sure that Orangeburg is a safe place for us to live, work, and play.
Wow, wow, Annette. I tell you what, and I didn't even ask you the question about living, when we talk about housing, because when
Mm,
you talk about, competitive wages, you talk about bringing employment, careers, and
mhm.
that type of thing, everybody has to have a place to live,
That's
you know.
right.
And
That's
so
right.
I hope that that will be an issue that, city council will be talking about as time goes on.
Yes, creating
Mhm.
affordable housing options for the city of Orangeburg, especially for our senior citizens, at everyone, but even especially those senior citizens, they definitely need affordable housing.
Yeah, yeah. And we also, the last thing, we didn't talk about the homeless
Mhm.
population. Yeah,
Mhm.
what are some of your what is an idea that you have about dealing with the homeless population and what we can do to make it better?
Well, I think speaking to those who are houseless,
Mhm.
um, and finding out, you know, what we can do to truly address their needs and their
Mhm.
concerns. We have the Samaritan House, but maybe it's time for an additional shelter, or an additional space, and going back to that affordable housing, and making sure that we're providing options and places that they can go that they can truly afford. And first and foremost, maybe it's those employment opportunities, finding out why, if they're unemployed, why they're unemployed, and what we can do to help them get employed so that we can help get them off the streets and get them into safe spaces.
That's right. Provide those resources that they need.
That's right.
Wow. And
That's
thank you. Thank you so much. Listen, last question. 3 words that describe Annette.
woo, passionate, energetic, and committed.
Passionate, energetic, and committed.
That's right.
Wow. That's you, Annette. That is you all the way. Listen, I wish you the best, and I pray that God will continue to bless you. And if there's anything that we can do here for on the Tammy Show, the staff, the staff and all of us here, we would love to be able to help you. So all you gotta do is call.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Tammy. And I just want to encourage everyone to get out and vote on September 12th.
September 12th, get out and vote. That's the main thing. If you hadn't registered, it's too late, but now you got to get out and vote, right?
But get registered. If you haven't registered, even if you can't participate in the election on
That's
September
right.
12th, get out and get registered, because there's
That's
no
right.
way that we can make change if you aren't registered to vote and we can't
That's
hear your
right.
voice.
That's right. Annette, congratulations. Annette D's Grevious candidate for Orangeburg City Council. As she said, get out and vote, folks. Listen, Annette, thank you so much, and the best wishes to you, my darling.
Thank you, Tammy. Again, thank you for having me.
Of course, always my pleasure. Love you much.
Love you too.
All right. Take care, Annette.
You too.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye-bye. Well, folks, you heard it right here. Annette D's Grevious, candidate for Orangeburg City Council. When I tell you, hey, thank you, Dr. Walter Curry of Renaissance Publications, LLC. He says, great interview. Annette, thank you. If you're still listening, she's backstage. We have to get out and vote, folks. This is a new time. Yes, Orangeburg County, but it's happening in Charleston County, all over. We have to get people who care about us. And if you don't do that, and if you don't get out and vote, then something's wrong. Anyway, I'm not going to get on my soapbox and talk about that, but you know how I feel. It's time for us to get up and get out and make a change. Listen, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to Tammy, everybody that joined us, Intervision, Dr. Walter Curry of Renaissance Publications, LLC. We thank you so much for joining, sending those questions, and all of the other folks that have joined us. I want to let you know that next week, we're going to be talking with KJ. KJ is going to talk to us because, after all, this is Prevention Suicide Month. And so it is the Prevention of Suicide Month. And so we want to make sure that we talk about it and that we hear from folks as we can help others. And that's what it's all about. I want to say happy birthday to my beautiful daughter, Catherine Victoria Rose McCartry. Happy birthday to Felicia. They both had birthdays this month. And so we want to wish them many wishes and many more to come. I want to thank my producers, Alicia, assistant producers, Tiana, Willie, and Felicia, of course. And listen, you all, thank you so much for all that you do here for the Tammy Show. That's the team, y'all. Please subscribe to the Tammy TV Show. Go on YouTube. That's the Tammy TV Show. Hit that red subscribe button, and that's how you're going to be able to be alerted every time the show comes on. So again, let's make sure that we're a blessing to somebody. Pray for somebody today. Visit somebody today, and take care of yourselves. Until the next time, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.